since I was young, I was told that I am a spirited child. But as the years rolled on, it often got confused with me being a rebel, a bad seed, and failure. In preschool, I was always that one that got put in the corner because I knew what was right from wrong already, and my teachers didn't seem to like that. I would correct my teachers, which would lead to a phone call to my parents. A phone call to my parents would lead to a meeting with my rear end and my mom's right hand. When I was reprimanded, it led me into a whirlwind of confusion. Came to a screeching halt in 7th. I began to get distracted by everything but my grades. I began to get distracted by things I didn't really need, but I wanted, like a boyfriend or a cell phone. These were just two things put in my path to trip me up and slow me down. I didn't really care anymore about my grades because with what I was dealing with at home, my life was already over. Coming home one night to find out that my cousin had broken his neck. Coming home another night to find out that the cousin who gave me her name had died of cancer. This is way more than what my 13 years could handle. I barely passed the finish line in 7th, but I made it to the 8th. I tried to do what was my best, but it still didn't seem like it was enough. What I thought was my best, teachers thought was lazy. As I made the huge leap from middle school to high school, I seemed to glide on the cloud of having an AB average, 3.5 GPA, and enrolled in honors classes. I plan to graduate high school with a 4.5 GPA and go to college. I plan to major in nursing. I will not have any kids before I am married and out of college. And I will make it in this society.
The melodious ring of the bell's voice pulls my pencil to paper, writing for that perfect 4.0. It's sad that the same movement is an insidious event when the pigment drops your grade. Your race is going through the hellstorm and hydroplanes into slits labeled as failure. The only expression you can have is a rusty woe be gone. When you hear your GPA moaning for relief, your woe will be gone. When you walk out the front door of school and say,
"Yeah, I am black. So what?"
That's the foundation of a complex gap where stereotypes are ranks, not just labels.
Miss Cunningham, I admit I'm more snooze button bandit than quiz bowl captain, but I've always wondered why you gave me that look. That scowl as you peered at my charcoal hoodie in a sea of cardigans and good credit scores.
Money is the difference between pass and fail. Race is what extracts you from the system, but this right here is a war of class. How does it feel when 12th grade comes along and you're considered a 17-year-old black man with the knowledge of a 13-year-old white boy? Call it an illusion if you please, but this illusion is a fall or fly education. If you take fly out of the equation, you're stuck with New York City's 2.7 versus the white boy's 3.6. That's in reading. It's funny. Look at the method they created for you to trip in. A switchblade jump where rock bottom civics is the only place you can land. So tell me why I try to float on this plastic zephyr to the stars when the only thing I'll ever hear is try harder next semester.
Welcome to AP Calculus. It was only the first day, homeroom, but you stared at me as if you could see the little wedding lyrics being scribbled from my headphones to my eyelids. I wondered, were ramen noodles still lingering on my breath? Or was my financial aid peeking through my skin? Did you see the empty Father's Days in the way I sat here? I had to remember to try to keep the project stairwell in me from showing. So every day after that, I sat front row center to let you know I was serious. But even then, you never really looked at me. Except for on days when I was late. You wrote more on that D1 than you said to me in months.
To me, it's funny how the school can take time to grow a seed, but if the bloom is not the right color, they throw it to the edge of the highway. It's no longer needed in their system, so they let vines take hold of your career, reel you into shadows drenched in alphabet poison, your incandescent glow faded to placid dreams, all because of one growing gap. One obstacle you couldn't make the full leap over. I can tell they forgot about No Child Left Behind. Because the only thing I see behind me are shades of skin crying for a leap across. The rest just sit back in silent satisfaction like it's where they belong.
I made sure I hung that paper in my locker. Refusing to be crucified by this gap, I traded my graffiti-stained kicks for boat shoes. Made sure I put group work on my back. You heard everyone asking me for help. You lavished them with praise, but would waltz over my name. I never felt so worthless. I had history the period before, so I know my A is only worth 3/5 of his, right? I almost dropped your class that day. Paper crane folded my identity into a whitewashed sweater vest and Dockers. I don't know who I am anymore. I thought schools were to mold to the students, but you made me want to be an echo in the corner of your classroom.
How can you sit back and be satisfied in the corner? You can't live life to the fullest. My friction would build a portrait of draconic events playing Jenga with my chest. Stacked so high, waving. Till I take the blocks to build the bridge back across the gap, I would make a reform lasso from all the shipwreck dropout slips. I would grab one side of the gap and pull till both make a 3.5 in the middle. I'm trying to show 1.5's the formula to be a 3.5. So that college letter is obtainable. I'm ready to take the jump. I'm ready to see uproars bring the ground together. I'm ready for the end of this war and the reformation of education. Here we come, 4.0.
So that's when I decided to make my move. Now, I sit front row center of your desk. Every question, my hairpin trigger of a right hand shoots up. I've seen you flinch a couple times. Don't worry. Just look me in my eyes. Can you see the memory of a younger me sitting at a dinner table, balancing my mother's checkbook? That's why I love math. And when I'm on, my mind can crush any calculator into dust. Can you see the shadow of a speech impediment on my tongue when they told me I could only hope to make it out of middle school? So I kick-flipped algebra into 4 years and a diploma. Truth is, I could have graduated last year. I know what you see when you look at me. But I'm more sit-in than sell me. And he's more vacant parking lot than star pupil. I've been giving him the answers the last 8 weeks. Miss Cunningham, numbers are easy. It's the biggest I don't understand.
I am Deanna Michelle Daniel. I am 17 years old. I go to University of North Carolina School of the Arts, and I joined in REACH, and I am ASCOT.
I am Shannon Jones. I'm 15 years old. I attend Mount Tabor High School, and I joined in REACH Ensemble, and I am ASCOT.
I am 16. I go to Reynolds High School, and I joined Ensemble of Salvation. I am Asaka.
I am Willie Holmes II. I attend North Carolina A&T. I'm 20 years old. I came into the Institute with Absolute Ensemble. I am Asaka.